On a hot summer day in late August, two football programs both kicked off their season. One in front of a packed Bryant-Denny Stadium, and another in front of a sparse crowd at Memorial Stadium that mostly left at halftime. These two programs had for decades been opposites in the college football world, yet this season brought them crashing together in a debate that symbolized the culture problem of today's landscape of college football. The Indiana University Hoosiers had long been the laughingstock of college football. The first team to 700 losses, always last in the Big Ten, and their football building is named after a coach with a losing record. And yet, through all of that, this season they turned it around. They achieved the dream that college football fans of losing teams hope to achieve. A winning season. Not just a winning season, a record-breaking season. 11 wins, college football playoff. It was every Indiana fan's dream. And yet their season was somehow marred by controversy. Many said they were undeserving of the playoff because their players weren't 5 stars, their resume was weak, or they lost the only team they played before the playoff. But in reality, it all boiled down to their history. Alabama. First year without Nick Saban, 5-star roster, hundreds of millions of dollars football facility, national championship after national championship. The pinnacle of college football. And while Alabama had a good season, 9 wins with an impressive win over Georgia, they had 3 losses. The worst of which was not scoring a touchdown against a 6-6 Oklahoma team in the second to last week of the season. A season to be proud of for sure. But with the SEC's one less conference game than other Power 5 conferences, and 3 losses, a hard argument to make the college football playoffs. That didn't stop many fans from petitioning, saying that because Alabama had real 5-star NFL talent they should be in. That they're a better team on paper, so they deserve the spot. This is the culture problem that college football has today.
Here we go. March Madness. How about that? This is going to be a wild ride. What a game.
March Madness is the most beloved postseason in all of sport. It's chaotic and anything can happen. If you support a tiny team, they can make a run and be talked about for years longer than the national champion that season. Who remembers who won the national championship in 2018 when Loyola Chicago made a run in the Final Four? Probably less people than remember Loyola Chicago. March Madness is beautiful, it's chaotic, and when anything does happen, it's celebrated. The same cannot be said for football.
They are behind a one-loss team. They have a chance to go on the road and prove what they are. Now, honestly, if we believe in what our metrics are saying, if I'm Indiana, I don't know if I'm playing Rourke against Ohio State.
People bring down Cinderella stories because on paper they don't think they're good enough. That's a stupid argument. Some of the best NFL talent in recent history, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, were 3 stars. To go even further, J.J. Watt, Antonio Brown, Baker Mayfield were all walk-ons. And great stars of college football and the NFL have been hidden in college football hell, no matter what program they're on, and they have to work their way out of it. Then there are obviously the yearly 5-star, multi-million-dollar signing bonus busts that happen every year at every school. And most college football fans recognize that stars are not everything for about 99% of the year. They recognize that if there's a 5-star on their team, that doesn't mean they're going to be the best athlete ever. Until it comes time to decide the college football playoff. And one team has many 5-star athletes but's performing worse, and another team has less and is performing better. People's logic goes out the window, and they just revert back to simply saying one team has more stars than the other. The other argument people often make is that Alabama would have beaten Indiana in a head-to-head game. People could say Alabama is bigger and faster, and that would be true. Statistically, they are. But in the hypothetical scenario, it's just that, hypothetical. Alabama lost to a 6-6 Oklahoma team. They didn't even score a touchdown against them. That same Oklahoma team lost to Navy in the Armed Forces Bowl. Alabama then followed it up with a loss to a 7-5 Michigan team, who, yes, beat Ohio State, but that same Michigan team lost to Indiana. The narrative that historically worse teams should never be given a chance in college football is a dangerous one that could permanently ruin the sport. While many people are fans of bigger teams, If the small teams are never given a chance, the tens or even hundreds of millions of fans of smaller college football teams will stop watching. Because then it will just become the NFL with worse players. And why watch college football when you can just watch the real professional athletes? Change is inevitable, and college football must realize this, and not simply hold on to the coattails of its own giants and keep them on a high pedestal. Realize that they can fall, and that doesn't mean they won't get back up, but that other teams could come and take their place.